Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Father's Day, June 15th, 2025. Happy Father's Day. And we're just getting started here on Goof On. This is Chicken Coop Confidential and Burn It Down. It's about UFO world. We gotta burn it down, start it over, build it. Like Lou said, we gotta tear it down, build it back up. Ew, I quoted Lou. All right, everybody. Tonight, we're going to talk about, on Father's Day, the UFO evidence. The good stuff, it's hidden. The alien bodies, everything that we want to see, we'll never see it. It's so, just imagine, you can't imagine what it looks like. Imagine that. Yeah. Imagine that. You can't even imagine, they say, what an alien species looks like in captivity, what we have in captivity. I'd like to believe that the alien interview, we had the guy Jon Stewart, who is saying that's a legitimate. I don't buy it. I don't. I have a hard time with it, because what's the motto? What is life's rule? If it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's an alien, right? Right? If it looks like a balloon, and it's wobbling like a balloon, and everything says balloon, that's not a tail coming down out of a lizard person that uses this string or tail to collect food, small animals and children. Oh, that's what Phoenix Skywatcher Jeff Woolwine said. Hey, Richard, you don't just spend 5 days out there investigating. You gotta sit out there for years like me, man. You gotta understand these things come out of the rocks, and those aren't, you're just like everybody else. Those aren't strings. They're tails of the lizard people. That's what they use, man. They use that tail to collect small animals and small children. Yeah, man. You don't know what you're talking about. You better go deliver more pizzas, man. Hey, man. That was his intro. Hey, man. Welcome to Jeff Woolwine's Petroglyphs in the Sky, man. Oh, those were fun years. What a way to start my career, going after him and Jaime. That was fun. I miss it. And I really do. What am I getting here? I just have to give it a okay. Who's here tonight? It's a regular show. We did not do a members show. I didn't want to. No. Didn't even like it. Who's here? Cindy Krause. Can't help myself. I just can't. I walk around going, Krause. I do side eye. I do it all. Right? I love those cat videos. And welcome to the show. Ben, the Yorkshire Goophonian. How you doing? Huh? Hey, you. Marcy Hill, Goophonian, my tall head. head, head. Hey, Juge Ange, the angel of Goofon. Welcome to the show. I was told to act more mature. Okay. Paul Callaghan, welcome. He says, and I'd like to read this, Mr. Paul Callaghan Fowler. Are you suffering from a pain in the ass? You may have been tagged by alien xeno exploration teams against your will. We offer full, no win, no fee litigation schemes. Couthard, Zondo, and Shyster. That has to be the best ad on YouTube's tubes. And X marks the Spartacus. Spartacus? Oh. Welcome to the show. PC in the house, everybody. Brian Yates, welcome to the show. That's the worst effing sound. Next crop circle song. I hope you don't mean the intro, because that's really good. Hey, Mark, say here. Oh, I already did that. Well, welcome to the show again. UFO 91, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Hey, Metalhead. Metalhead. How you doing? How you doing? You know, you're one of the few people that can talk shit, and I don't take it personally. It's weird. Hey, Thor. Speaking of, I'm joking. Hope you're having a good Father's Day, Thor, and everybody, all my gentlemen here. Gentlemen. Phil McClorick. Good name. Phil McClory. Yeah. I know. I was giving you a hard time, but I was kind of saying it for the peeps out there in case nobody figured that out. All right. Well, look, thanks. I appreciate that. Brian, welcome to the show. Jeff Garvey, how you doing? We're going to get started. Now, it's a slow start. I don't expect a full 20 people. Rich, Jeff Garvey says, we need panels. Oh, they're coming. We need panels with good, legitimate people. Oh, yeah. No. No, I really do have some things I'm working on, and I have interviews. I'm trying to do them on Thursdays. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Wednesday at first, but I switched it to Thursday, I think, last week. But anyway, more interviews are coming. Yeah. I have a source that has a connection to all of the Art Bell contacts, and I can literally get just about anybody that doesn't know me. Now, actually, I think people don't mind coming on here. You know, I think most of the people that have been invited here, everybody has said yes. I've never had anybody say no, except for Alien Addict. He said yes, but never came on the show. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch it for like a year and a half either. I'm like, I go on his show all the time. He's never come on mine. Why don't you come on the show? I said. All right, mate. Well, you know, I got to do a certain time. I go, we can do it at the same time, do your show, 5 o'clock, Saturday. Then all right, we'll set it up. And then, I'm too sick. I can't make it, mate. I drank too much last night. I'm so sorry. I said, okay. Got the hint. You don't want to come on. Got to go now. And that was the beginning of the end of that relationship. Why don't you want to come on my show? He did so many things not to come on. It was weird. And he always wanted Secure Team, talked all the shit about him. But he goes, I don't want him to know. You know, I don't want him to hear me talking shit about him. So you can do it for me. That's why he gave me the information that kicked off Goofon. And that was when Tyler got arrested. And I was the first one to get the police cam footage of it. But I did such a bad job. because I don't know. I got it and I went live, but back then I didn't even, I don't know. I didn't make a good thumbnail. It's terrible. It only had 35,000 views, I think. That's it. That's it. That's the highest video on GoofOn, 35,000. That's it. It's horrible. We only have 2 million views, 2,000 videos. How many views is that on average? 1,000, right? That's what we averaged for a few years, 1,500, then it dropped. And yeah, it's weird. What a weird, I don't know what's going on with this channel anymore, but I don't know. But we're going to have a interesting conversation tonight because, hold on. I'm sorry. This is so weird. Like, where do these emails come from? Ed? And then this, oh, what? All right, here we go. Let's just do this. I'm going to start off with this. Okay. Do you guys remember Amy Eskridge, who mysteriously was unalived? She's the deceased anti-gravity researcher. Remember? She said, Lou told me the US government would give me a shit ton of money to keep me from selling it to China. They effed with me. I'm tired of it, she said. And this just in, Jason Sands, and I'm going to go over this fetus thing with Lou in a little bit. We talked about that with Anjali the other day. And about the photo that Lou put out there, now I'm seeing that Jason Sands is saying that that fetus was from a crash retrieval. UFO. It doesn't get any better. This whole community is so being played right now. And it's so obvious to me. It's like these are the dumbest stories like they can come out with. In the old days, there would be decent stories. Oh, yeah, there was a triangle over Russia, or a big triangular mothercraft over Bulgaria or something, right? And it looked all right. Nobody knew, but then we figured out it's got to be a school project, for their movie class or whatever they're doing over there, right? We'll get to all that. But this Amy Eskridge was almost given a shit ton of money. But I didn't know that Boohoo Lou might have been involved with this. I don't remember it that way for some reason.
Because he was like, I'm going to bring George Knapp and blah, 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 and we'll film. But Lou said the same thing. Lou was like, oh, we're filming the second season of the TTSA show on the History Channel, and we'll come do an episode about Huntsville. Like, I want to bring Tom DeLonge and Steve Justice and Hal and blah, blah, blah people to your house. And he told me that the US government would give me a shit ton of money to keep me from selling it to China. And so I called him and I'm like, can you refer me to an active US Army general, please, to talk about this transaction? And he was like, radio silence. Like, I asked him to refer me to active military, and that killed the conversation.
Hold on, let me go back. I want to hear that again.
To keep me from selling it to China. And so I called him and I'm like, can you refer me to an active US Army general, please, to talk about this transaction? And he was like, radio silence. Like, I asked him to refer me to active military, and that killed the conversation.
It looks like she's telling the truth. Her head nodded in the right area. I mean, if you want to look at that, I mean, listen.
Blah, 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 and we'll film. But Lou said the same thing. Lou was like, oh, we're filming the second season of the TTSA show on the History Channel, and we'll come do an episode about Huntsville. Like, I want to bring Tom DeLonge and Steve Justice and Hal and blah, blah, blah people to your house. And he told me that the US government would give me a shit ton of money to keep me from selling it to China. And so I called him and I'm like, can you refer me to an active US Army general, please, to talk about this transaction? And he was like, radio silence. Like, I asked him to refer me to active military, and that killed the conversation.
Why? Why would it kill the conversation? Because it was on the phone. Right? Doesn't that make sense? That whole thing we just saw there, I mean, it's like taken out of context. So people making up a lot of narrative out of things that are taken out of context. Hey, Nathan, how you doing, brother? Blood up. Rich, Leadfoot. Brooke is, huh? Ha ha. Stu Gerson. Oh, yeah. Stu Gerson. Where you been, mate? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Nah. Yeah, that is a very interesting case. A lot of people looked into that. And, she was what, 27 years old? Very young, very smart. And she's gone. Mysteriously. Just my opinion. But it's true. It's mysterious. She died of mysterious causes. Right? Remember? Check this out. There's this object 10 times larger than the Earth. It appeared above the sun, similar looking to an aircraft, they say. See? Oh. I clicked on the article and it opened up a new thing, so I need to go to the new thing, and there it is. Yeah, pretty wild. These images, the image, it says here, let me get myself out of there a little bit. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. How about up top? There you go. They clearly show a bird or an aircraft with a fiery tail trailing behind it. The wing size, of the bird is about 150,000 kilometers. So it's a regular bird. The height of the flight above the surface of the sun is about 2 million kilometers. The size of a bird, assuming that it is a physical and not an optical object, that is more than 10 times the size of the Earth, writes TK. It is noted that the picture was taken in the channel of the C2 telescope yesterday or 2 days ago at 10 o'clock world time. This is visible to the eye radiation in the previous and next pictures about 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. This object is not there. You understand? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what they're saying? You understand? The object was there 1 second and not the next. Well, 10 minutes. Who can it be knocking at the sun? Go away. It's a little hot over here. Who can it be now? Who can it be now? Yeah. You know Anjali? Or as some of the kids out there like to say, Anjali. She had a post over here today, of all days. I got to post this, by the way. I have to talk. Can we talk? Because it's pretty important we stop this reprehensible foolery, is the title of this. And I don't think these photos are so bad that I need to cover them up. But I will tell you if you are a little bit weirded out by veins or, I don't know, some sort of body dysmorphia. I don't know. Yeah. No, this is it. It's not, I mean, it's all over the place. Not like, people are blocking this. But I'll show it for a second and then we'll get out and then I'll just tell you about it. See? Okay. So Anjali says, I cannot tolerate any more of this insensitive BS. The immorality of it is off the charts because that is being touted as a crash retrieval body, alien, fetus, whatever. And it's not. And Jason Sands, Elizondo, now Jason Sands is saying this. It's from a crash retrieval without any proof at all. It's irresponsible. It's immoral. This is what they did with the alien autopsy by showing us I thought was a bloated body of a woman that they bought a cadaver for science purposes or for whatever they said at the time for the purposes of making a movie with the supposed real alien, which it was. We all know it wasn't. But we have seen photos like this where human mutilation, like cattle mutilation. We did a show on human mutilations a few years back, and the photos were holy crap. And we showed them on YouTube because it's news. And I'm going to show it again. But pics Elizondo circulated as a hybrid are genuinely of a preterm fetus with Harlequin ichthyosis, or I don't know how to say it. Ichthyosis? Richie Ichthyosis. You understand? Jason Sands says Lou Elizondo shared a photo of a human fetus, looks genuine. He saw it 5 years ago, and he said there is a backstory to the photos. It was part of a crash retrieval. No proof. Let's just say what the peeps need to hear. Let's make up a story, grab a crunchy fetus that is so unbelievably disgusting to even use as a prop. These guys should go to prison and get impregnated. Why not? They believe men can get pregnant too. These friggin' tards. Hey, Lou Elizondo and Jason Sands, you guys are the biggest fucktards in ufology right now. Go have a seat next to Rose Cuckold, please, and Jeremy Corgel.
Last night there was a director from MUFON that was in one of the spaces, the UFO spaces, and he released a photograph of a UFO or of an alien being from a crash. I linked it to the top. He got it from Lou Elizondo. Yep. Have you ever seen this photo before?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that probably about 5 or more years back. Yeah.
What's your take on that? Can you talk about that a little bit and who showed it to you?
It's very much the same thing as the alien autopsy. If this was faked, it was a very good fake.
Oh my God!
It looks.
I can't believe that he said the alien autopsy. I haven't even listened to this yet. That's what comes to mind with this prop. Sad.
Very realistic because
it's real.
I've seen so many different photos of aliens and UAP. At a glance, sometimes you kind of get a feeling for it after a while, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. And this one looks.
Guys, this guy's a piece of work. Did you just hear what he said? He's seen so many pictures of aliens that it's old hat to him now. I just look at it and it's an alien. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what an alien looks like. That's an alien. He's acting like, I see so many aliens, Then why was he, if he's seen so many, then why is he so gung-ho about the one he was talking about before? You're not going to believe this one. I saw something. No, you saw hundreds according to you. You see how the lie leaks? You see how it comes out in totally different conversations? I love me. I do. I really do. I am so happy to be able to see this shit. No, I mean that. Nobody else does it better. No, really. Actually, Anjali does a pretty good job now. I've been, watching her closely in the last year. She's pretty good at this. Just
At a
saying.
glance, sometimes, you kind of get a feeling for it after a while. And that's kind of
Just glancing at it. Hey, watch this. This is him. Boop, alien. I just glanced at it. Boop. Watch this. Can somebody call Jason Sands and get him out here? He just needs to glance at this thing to tell us what planet, what galaxy. Oh, no. Oh, I thought everything went to one ear. What planet, what galaxy this thing comes from. Oh, here he comes. Jason. Boop. It's a gray. It comes from the planet Lishtarda. It is in the galaxy of Andromeda. It is on the outstretched arm of... All right, that's enough. This guy. He's amazing to me. He really is. He's the best thing that's never happened.
UAP. At a glance, sometimes, you kind of get a feeling for it after a while. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. And this one looks, to me, genuine. At least
of course it's genuine. What are you going to say? No, this one doesn't look that good to me. That's why I'm here to let you know. Nah, at a glance, it's a piece of shit. Yeah, that doesn't look like... You know what it looks like? A dead baby. Human. Yeah, they walk amongst us, Yeah, we know, Jason. You said that. We heard you on Joe Rogan's show. We heard your fantasy story.
Further analysis. And I think there's a backstory that goes along with it as well. That it was part of the retrieval process and everything. And I just need to tell you guys here and now, since I just brought up retrievals, that's been the hardest thing for me to discuss with folks. Is on one hand, they want to talk about UAP and all the vanilla stuff. But the reality of retrievals is it's messy.
What did he just say? Vanilla? Hold on.
Is on one hand, they want to talk about UAP and all the vanilla stuff.
No, it's not vanilla. None of it's vanilla. Oh my God.
But the reality of retrievals is it's messy.
It's messy. Why would it be messy? Why?
Just as Jake Barber came out about retrievals, that he says that certain people can show up and he's had to have gunfire and he's lost some people.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because it's an alien and you shouldn't be there looking at it the way you are. You know better. Everybody here knows. If you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Space Force, whatever, and you come upon shit like this, there's a chance someone is coming for it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's our government. It could be some black budget program coming after the crash retrieval. So there's a race to get this shit when it falls out of the sky, allegedly. So not only do we have a space race, we have a UFO chase. Chase for, to make what? It's not about energy. It's about making the best weapon. That's why all of this is dangerous. That's why people die over this stuff. Not only can we have free energy, allegedly, but unlimited ammunition against the people. civilization, civilians. That's what it's all about. And whoever gets this shit, this alien stuff, these retrievals, they put it all together and it's a puzzle. They got to figure it out. Hey, whoa, wait a second. Holy mackerel. There's over 100 crash reach. 100. Yeah, 100. If somebody said they captured or found, retrieved 10 UFOs, I'd be like, bullshit. 10? Give me a break. Yo, our technology that's so primitive and ancient compared to an alien's technology we could easily defend them. I mean, that's the American way of thinking. The underdog. We may have primitive weapons, but we're going to beat those aliens no matter what. Right? Independence Day. Oh, we could do analog. We could talk to them in Morse code. These aliens will never hear it. Yeah. All of a sudden, they can't pick up analog. Give me a break. It's so stupid. Dumbest movie ever. It's really stupid. Contact was better. I gotta tell you, but Independence Day was so stupid. It reminded me of 2012. Yeah, anything made by that director. Who did that? He's fun to watch. The movies are fun, but all right, here we go. You can't take him seriously.
And that is a fact. And you can.
All right, what's a fact there? Penis with ears, go.
He says that certain people can show up, and he's had to have gunfire, and he's lost some people.
Oh.
And that is a fact.
Oh.
And you can imagine that the NHI that they are retrieving and the craft that they're retrieving, some give up easily, some don't. Some fight to the death, So there are teams that take care of that kind of stuff too. So I'm just letting you know that there's a reality to this that people don't like to hear about because they're still in that phase one of.
You know what I like? He knows so much, but doesn't give details. Like, what kind of aliens? What kind of weapons are they firing, right? What are they killing us with? Is it a plasmoid, like the new term for these people out there? Plasmoids! Bad enough we got to learn he, she, we, they, it, and shit. Now we got to learn plasmoids and, what are the other terms that they freaking coming up with? It's so stupid. Whatever happened to just saying humanoids and fleets? Now we've got like a telepathy, like a mind reading, a vibratorial matter, and an etheric way of thinking. The whole world's changing. All we need is 2% of the population to have this kind of magical way of thinking. And if we could all come together and think the same way, then we could be a beacon for the aliens to come over here and change and tell us how things are going to be from now on.
Are UAP even real?
What?
But if you've been behind the veil like I have, and Jake Barber and some of the other whistleblowers, the reality is that, there's a very violent part to this. And I'm just wanting to let people know that that's part of the logic that we need to get a hold of is that, it's one thing to think we're alone or think that we're not alone. But if we're not alone, that means there's civilizations out there that are more advanced than us. That means we're talking about people that have governance of their own. They have their own cultures. They've got their own laws that they abide by. And of course, if they're talking to each other, then there must be some sort of a galactic or communal set of laws, just like we have a hierarchy of law that goes from, local authorities all the way up to the Supreme Courts of our nation. And then onward and upward, we've yet to achieve a planetary-wide system of laws, but we do have at least some meeting spaces that we get together. And that's something that all need to take home with you and think about, because I'm not saying you have to believe me wholeheartedly, but if you're still playing with the idea, those are some of the realities that you need to think of when you think logically through some of the scenarios that we're hearing people give testimony about. And I just want to make sure you guys understood that those are some of the very first beginnings of getting your mindset correct, because it's one thing to say I don't think we're alone, but it's quite another that, if you really want to go down that path, you have a series of logical steps you should go through. And I'm trying to, encourage you down that right path.
If you want to talk about what you know and you want to go down the logical path, I'm trying to tell you what path to go down and how to do it, basically, right? Isn't that what he just said? Got to be honest with you. It's not what I heard. I didn't hear anything. As a matter of fact, he didn't even talk about where to go. Out his ass is what he's talking. Out his ass.
Yeah, 100%. I'm
Yeah,
convinced,
100. You're right,
that
Mr.
UFOs are
Sands of
real,
Glass.
that,
Shut off. Get out of here. Enough of that. Unreal. Bullshittery. Buffoonery. Griftology. Because we all know now Jason Sands is all about the grift. Because that guy has zero evidence. He came out with a claim that is just as bad as any other grifter, liar, hoaxer, cheater, charlatan, liar, charlatan, liar, cheater, liar, charlatan, liar. See the pattern? Thank you, Anjali, for that. There is also another post from Anjali, and she says something very important I think we should look at. All of my recent posts, she says, have been to highlight for the UFO community that World War III is kinetically escalating, or the US is involved, and there's significance to events relating to prediction by Christopher Bledsoe that NHI or UFOs will be seen in mass when Israel and Iran exchange missiles. Yeah, of course. You know why. We all know why. Because the drones and weapons. Yeah, anti drone weaponry. There's going to be all sorts of weapons that they're going to use that we're going to say it looks like a UFO or UFOs. That happens all the time. And it's been happening recently because drones are used constantly and they can make sharper turns, quicker stops. So to us, well, not to me, but to people, it looks like a UFO because they're not familiar with how drones operate either. And there are some drones out there with this technology, which is phenomenal. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Not with the war, although, we're all going to be front row center for that. But I'm talking about what objects are going to start appearing. Look, I think if it's a real beginning to a World War III, right? If this is it, they're here then. And they're above ground. They left the moon. They came from Antarctica. Whatever you want to imagine. They came from underneath the Sphinx there, right? They're here. They're watching, right? That's what we think as humans is going to take place. We'll see. You'll see. With that being said, we're still talking about it. The Wall Street Journal article. Like, who gives a shit? I can't believe this was James Fox today talked about it. And he posted that this is part of the PSYOP. This article is exactly that. It's complete and utter hogwash. You're part of it. You're part of it. What are you doing? See, this is how they get you to think they're not part of it. It's pretty stupid. He says the phenomenon is definitely real. They know it. They can't explain it. So that means it's real. Let's see. This has, here, let me show you. Pull this up here. Make sure you can read along. This is a good one. I love this. There we go. Let me put myself in a nice place so you can read along with. Can we squeeze in? There we go. That's it. That'll be as bloated as I can get the article. So this has got Sean Kirkpatrick's fingerprints all over it, as far as I'm concerned, this article says. I was working, James Fox says, I was working with firsthand witnesses that had already gone to Arrow. Kozlowski just goes, James, I can't part my hair without the DOD's approval. And you can quote me on that. These guys are responsible for pushing the launch control officers for nuclear war. It's like, if that's not a credible report, I don't know what is. Oh my God, he's so freaking gullible. What a bootlicker! You're a bootlicker! These guys are not going to go without a fight. What guys? And the revelation of this phenomenon, of this story, is going to be very difficult for them because they've got technology, so they're going to have to admit that at some point. Then he goes on, if you can weaponize that technology, it's game over, right? So if the Russians, it's a race to see who can get to it first. That's what I said. The fact that we're not alone, in my view, and in the view of many others that are pushing for more government transparency, is the right of every man, woman, and child on this planet. No, it's not. Where do you guys get the idea that it's our right? Who made that up? There's no law. There's no birthright that has written somewhere in it says we must be privy to all new aliens, illegal and legal, that come into the United States of America, whether it be air, sea, tunnel, train. I mean, it makes no sense. Nothing like that has been written. So it's a lie. And I am sick of these guys like James Fox and others, Rose Cuckold, Jeremy Corbell, even George Knapp saying, oh, it's our right. No, it's not. No, it's not. Look how crazy you guys act, and you don't even know the truth. Imagine if you found out the truth. Imagine. Transcript. James Fox says, this is part of the PSYOP. This article is exactly that. It's complete and utter hogwash. I believe what I know to be true because I've gone around the world investigating the phenomenon, investigating landing cases, crash cases in Brazil. I've been to China, Russia, Australia, South America, and Africa. And you still didn't find evidence, you dummy. The phenomenon is definitely real. They know it. They can't explain it. And quite honestly, they're in a corner right now. And this has got Sean Kirkpatrick's fingerprints all over it as far as I'm concerned. First of all, my peeps, the government feels no pressure whatsoever from the public. You know what they say? You know what they're doing? They see us, all our messages, emails. Hey, I got another email. This one came from a guy, I don't know, Goof on Richie, I don't know, something. He says we should literally, follow the Constitution and tell the people that it's their right, and they should know the truth. They also have a job to do. And this is what the gullible, the bootlicking, the uneducated people think, that the government's just going to drop everything and throw the whole world into chaos if they admit they have aliens, alien technology, some sort of evidence that could change the world, etc., etc. It's not time. We're not ready for it. I'm telling you, we're not. I know we're not. I know. I feel it. Imagine if they did it in 2020 when they locked us all down. You remember that day? I think it was what? What day was that? March 13th or something? It was around that time. It was around my birthday. Matter of fact, I think it was March 13th. Anyway, the phenomenon is definitely real. They know it, he says. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Kirkpatrick ran Arrow, which was the UAP task force for a couple of years. He was working closely with Senator Gillibrand, whatever, and I believe Rounds and Schumer. But he was, and I know this because I was working with firsthand witnesses that had already gone to Arrow and testified in a skiff and given street addresses and names, locations of where this stuff is. And none of those detailed reports, classified detailed reports, wound up being part of the presentation that he ultimately gave. I think the new guy, John Kozlowski, who's running Arrow now, I think he's going to be a lot more transparent. Although he did tell me in a skiff a couple of months ago, I started saying, obviously, you guys are going to come to the conclusion after a careful review of the data, especially the classified data that we're dealing with, some of this stuff as non-human intelligence. And he looked at me. He didn't say no. He just goes, James, I can't part my hair without the DOD's approval. And you can quote me on that. James Fox continues on. These guys are responsible for pushing the, launch control officers for nuclear war. It's like, if that's not a credible report, I don't know what is. And that right there, my friends, is James Fox in a nutshell. The bootlicking, gullible, wanting to believe his government so badly that he's blinded by the tyranny and the cover-up that's happening right under his nose. It's amazing to me because he's getting service with a smile, probably. Oh, he's smiling. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He smiled. He wasn't so mean. I trust him. He smiled. Sometimes that's all it takes, right? Right, James? Right, Jimmy? Oh, look, there's a video. Oh, let's take a listen.
Hogwash. I believe because I was working with firsthand witnesses that had already gone to Arrow and testified in a skiff.
I just read
and
all
given
this.
Street addresses and names and locations of where this stuff is. And none of those detailed reports, classified detailed reports, wound up being even part of the presentation that he ultimately gave. I think the new guy, John Kozlowski, was.
So what? What does he think? That the report has to have every single detail spoken out loud verbally to have your approval? So what? They didn't mention it. Who cares? God, it's so stupid. This is as dumb as Jeremy Corbell saying, I did not get credit for giving this information to Congress. Babies.
He's running Arrow now. I think he's going to be a lot more transparent, although he did tell me in a skiff a couple of months ago. I started saying, like, obviously you guys are going to come to the conclusion after a careful review of the data, especially the classified data, that we're dealing with some of this stuff as a non-human intelligence. And he looked at me. He didn't say no. He just goes, James, I can't part my hair without the DOD's approval. And you can quote me on that. These guys are responsible for pushing the launch control officers for nuclear war. It's like, if that's not a credible report, I don't know what is.
That doesn't make it credible, you piece of stoop. All that means is the guy can give orders. That's all it means. Oh, that's credible because he can give an order for nuclear whatever. Oh, that's credible. Why? Because he can give orders. Ooh. Orders. I like a guy who can give orders. Mark that down as a credible UFO report because he can give orders. Good one, James.
I'm telling you right now, the reason why we're seeing these types of articles is this is a significant pushback. These guys are not going to go out without a fight. And
what fight? There's no fight. You see, this is what they act like they're doing. They act like they're taking the government to task. Oh, we got more whistleblowers. I made another documentary. Debunk me. You can't stop me, government. We know you're lying. We know it. We can see it all. We know we watch you. Of course you do. Oh my God, this is so stupid. Oh, it's really a way. This is the distraction. James Fox, all this stuff is stupid, stupid, stupid way of thinking. No, it is. It's stupid. Don't you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Who here has seen this story before? And do we have disclosure? Do we have any evidence? Do we have any? No. So maybe James Fox is. No, he's not. Can we listen to the rest? Okay.
The revelation of this phenomenon, of this story, is going to be very difficult for them because, they've got technology, so they're going to have to admit that at some point.
They've got technology. They've got to admit it at some point. Hey, I don't know if you noticed anything, James, but for 77 years, they didn't admit anything, you dummy. What is this guy? Is he not? What would? I know, I mean it. You don't know. Oh. You see, this is what Tom DeLonge does too. They tell you there's something big coming. They know things because, as James Fox just told everybody, I've been around the world. I've talked to people. I've talked to people that experiences. Where pictures of aliens. I don't have any evidence of it, but aliens, they came to Peru, all that stuff. Remember? Maybe UFO. I'm telling you, it's real. It's real. Nobody believes me. And nobody believes me. We believe you, Jimmy. You just sound silly. You sound like they gotta tell us. No, they don't. And they haven't for 70 plus years. Come on. What do you think? Good time has come. Change is near. Everybody get ready to blow your ear.
Probably going to have to admit that the phenomenon is real, and yet they won't have that. Exposes their vulnerabilities.
They already admitted that the phenomenon is real. They admitted that UFOs are real. What is he talking about? They're going to have to admit that it's real? Am I hearing this right? Is this really?
Of this phenomenon, of this story, is going to be very difficult for them because, they've got technology, so they're going to have to admit that at some point. They're probably going to have to admit that the phenomenon is real, and yet they won't have that. Exposes their vulnerabilities, right? So you've got these objects whizzing around with impunity. They circle, they fly rings around our fastest jets. Just talk to Dave Fravor. And yet they don't know who they are, where they come from, or what they want. So origins and intent, that's going to be something they don't want to reveal to the general public because for obvious reasons.
They already did. They already did. How many people remember when Elizondo at the congressional hearing said, we don't have any technology. We don't know where they come from. We can't follow them. We can't even research them. How many, anybody remember that? They're not going to tell us. Oh, this guy. They're not going to say anything. Oh, no. They said it all. You want to know what else they said? Non-human intelligence. Yeah. pilots. Oh, bodies. Oh my God, stop. Yeah. They said that too. You know what? The government, the whistleblower, said it all. Cat's out of the bag. Now what?
Right? We're vulnerable. Okay, let's pretend that. Let's assume that they have crash retrieval material. They have bodies. That doesn't necessarily.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's imagine. We do. Am I on another? Is he not living on the same timeline as us? Did he break off and go back to 1986 or something?
We're vulnerable. Okay, let's pretend that.
Let's pretend.
Let's assume that they have crash retrieval material. They have bodies. That doesn't necessarily mean they have all the answers. Now, how are they going to disclose that to the general public without sharing that technology? Because let's face it, that tech.
He acts like he's talking for the first time that anybody's ever thought of these things. This is the beauty of him. This is what they all do. They act like you're hearing it for the first time. Well, they act like they're hearing it. Actually, they act like they're telling it for the first time. You guys aren't going to believe this. Just, imagine if the government said that they're non-human intelligence. I know. Can you imagine? They did already. This guy.
Technology, the observed technology of UFOs, and you can talk to any fighter pilot about this, dating back to the modern day wave of the 1940s. Some say obviously earlier than that. They fly rings around our fastest jets. They have no wings, no tail, no visible means of propulsion. They can hover. They can accelerate from a standstill.
And how do you know all this? I thought that the government doesn't disclose this information. It's so dangerous to our adversaries if they know all this stuff. Oh my God, they can hover? Really? Let me guess. They can disappear too, cloak?
Out of sight in the blink of an eye, right angle turns. If you can weaponize that technology, it's game over, right?
It's game over, man. Game over.
So if the Russians, it's a race to see who can get to it first. So I kind of understand the national security aspect of the technology.
We need to worry about our domestic terrorists who have this shit. Actually, if anybody's working with this so-called alien retrieval stuff, I believe they're not even in this country. I think they're out in the ocean, in Antarctica. I seriously think so. Or in the middle of a desert somewhere. They're not here in the United States. No way. If they are, they're in a place that we can never get to. Underground, maybe. But if you guys want to help support Truthology for Ufology, all the links are in the show description. GoofOn relies on your support that way to keep the channel running strong and to continue our research and so on and so forth. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. Amazing. This guy.
I mean, we have to admit that we have it. I don't know exactly how we're going to prove that we have it, but that's up to them. But the fact that we're not alone, in my view, and in the view of many others that are pushing for more government transparency, is the right of every man, woman, and child on this planet. And that's one of the reasons why I continue pushing for more transparency.
It's not. See, this is the biggest misconception about the truth. It's not a right.
Every man, woman, and child on this planet. And that's you, and in the view of many others that are pushing for more government transparency, is the right of.
Did you see it? What did he say? Very important what he said. It's right here. In the view of many, which is basically an opinion, right? Then listen.
Government transparency is the right of every man, woman, and child on.
In their view, They think it's our right to get this information. And who thinks this way? The left. Yeah. Whatever they want all of a sudden becomes their right. When they are wrong, they will go to the ends of the earth telling you you're wrong when they're right, when they're wrong. They can't admit when they're wrong. They walk away from conversations when the truth is spoken. These are not very well-educated people, period. And then to have them in the UFO community talking shit, making predictions, acting like they know shit, it's not going to fly with me. I'll point it out and I'll throw you down under that bus faster than you can say Greyhound. I don't know what that means. Oh, I'm glad I remembered this. United States Air Force. Oh, this is amazing. United States Air Force Captain Guy Kirkwood, in 1954, part of a group of 12 pilots, asked to film UFOs over the sky. In a span of few weeks, on one occasion, they were flying amongst 16 UFOs and began having severe psychological problems, like Jake Barber was talking about. Remember? He got emotional when he was alone. But I don't trust him or his story. But I do trust where that narrative comes from. And it does come from legitimate witnesses and experiencers around the world who claim that they have a connection or had a connection with an object that was in their vicinity. The reason I want to tell you that, because a lot of people I know don't think that I believe in this stuff, that I'm all against. I'm not. I believe that most people don't know what's going on when they're in these situations. And I believe some of these people are in mundane situations, but for some reason, they want to believe that the light or the dot in the sky over there was connected to their soul. I don't know, guys. Well, you know what a real story looks like. You know what I mean? Hey, wow. Hey, Phil McClure gifted a membership. I wonder, who did it go to? It went to Anjali. Anjali was gift. Now that's just random luck. It's all random. You can't pick who you send these to. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I have no control over who gets what. Thank you for that. Doge hat on isn't helping. Well, you know what? Grow up. That's all I can tell you. Grow up. That's from Amy WC. When you have your own channel and you do your own show, you can show people what you believe in. And then I'll come over there and I'll make a comment. Where's your Doge hat? Why are you a Nazi? You know, stuff like that. Same thing. Whatever comes around goes around. Am I seeing something? All right, I want to show you a couple of UFO sightings that came in.
These were pilots in their early 20s, defenseless in the face of the UFOs. While they were observing them, something incredible happened. In their headphones, they heard a voice which said in English that they'd come in peace, but they were worried about what man was doing, and that the voice they were hearing was not a hallucination.
Their purpose of being here was to dissuade some of the influence. They made reference to nuclear development by man and the problems,
of course,
that would be created and had been created from it. And it's at the age of 21, it placed us in severe quandary of questioning and capability and opposing side ego and experience, but there was no humor. I mean, it was not fun at all.
It's not supposed to be fun. Oh my God. People are weird. That was Guy Kirkwood, the United States Air Force captain who was part of a group of 12 pilots who were asked to film UFOs over the sky. And in the span of a few weeks, they flew with about 16 UFOs, and they began having some psychological issues. And we know that these happen to some people, and we don't know why. It never happened to me that I know of, and I spent over 21,000 hours staring at the sky, recording things that didn't make sense. And the only weird thing that has ever happened was I was with this guy named Mike DiSilvestro, and he goes, I want to come to your house. 45 miles to the northeast of where he lived, because I saw so many things. So he comes over, and it was the news started. It was 10 o'clock. I could hear the TV in my master bedroom from the backyard window. All the blinds are closed and everything, and all of a sudden I see a flash. Like where I lived, 5 miles away to the east, was Scottsdale Air Park. And Cessnas landed there, Learjets, helicopters, stuff like that. The Princess Resort was right up the street. So a lot of celebrities used Scottsdale Air Park when they came into Phoenix or Scottsdale, Arizona. So I thought it was a plane flying overhead, and it was just the beacon going off. But there was no plane, and there wasn't a second flash or a third or a continuing of flashes. It was one bright flash. I didn't say anything because I just assumed, I've seen it before, but I just assumed it was from the TV inside the house. Well, at 10:30, the TV turns off because that's when my wife at the time was going to sleep. She had to get up early. And we're in the backyard. About 5 minutes after that TV goes off, another flash happens. And my friend Mike, who was in the back of the yard, I was in the front part of the backyard. He goes, immediately after the flash, he goes, okay, tell me you saw that one. Because I didn't say anything the last time, the first flash. And I go, you mean you saw the first flash? He goes, yes, but you didn't say anything. I go, well, neither did you. He goes, because I thought I was just seeing stuff. And I go, so did I. And I go, let me tell you, those flashes aren't abnormal over here. And he freaked out for some reason. He left like 20 minutes later. He didn't want to stay. He was there for an hour. And he started feeling, he said, not safe. I don't know why. I think some people think, oh my God, a flash. I was abducted, I think. Or what if I get abducted? So I think because I saw so many things that nobody could explain at the time, he thought that my house had a spirit there, which a month later we found out did. Talk about weird. The sad thing was, Mike and I, we didn't get along all the time because he believed so much, and I didn't believe at all in a lot of things, that we fought a lot, and it became too much. We took a break, and during that break is when I was walking to our bathroom was being remodeled. And I walked to the other bathroom across go past the kitchen, and I looked to the left, and there was like an Amish girl in the eating area facing the wall. Like she was wearing like an Amish school outfit. I totally see it now, black and white. Pretty weird. But yeah, we had the orb that came through the window at that house. Came right inside. That was all within a week. All this stuff happened. And I think there are connections, because that was a time when I was still into it, but I was thinking of not doing this research anymore because I found it to be weird. In the first year, the things I was capturing, I would find out weeks later or maybe a month later that it turned out to be an airplane or a satellite or a balloon. But yet, these people, Brian Vike and others, UFO Casebook, were taking my sightings that I would send them, and they would get thousands and thousands of views and clicks on the incredible UFOs that weren't UFOs. And then I'd tell them, and I said, look, I got a great idea. You got 3 of my videos up there I debunked. So instead of doing a debunk story and showing how we figured it out, they just removed the story. It's always better just to leave the positive stuff up than to let everybody down. All those people, thousands of people who saw your videos, think they saw something from another world, perhaps. And I go, yeah, that's the idea, I know. But when we find out the truth, you got to let them know. I guess not. I guess not. That's when I was introduced to bullshittery and started going after all these people that lie. Like Jaime Maussan. Yes, I say the name wrong on purpose. Jaime Maussan. Nice guy, but a ruthless businessman. He will lie to your face as nice as he can and then be as honest and nice as he can behind your back right to your face. Let's take a look at this. I want to play this for you because what we've got here is, well, this is from Japan, Osaka. And if I could read this, artificial functional Dicelius pluripontias inducidias. It's exhibido en la Expo Mundial de Osaka. Este advance representa un hito en la medicina regenerativa y orifice. Huh? Yeah. I don't know, something going on in
En
Osaka.
Osaka, Japón, se presentó un corazón humano artificial cultivado a partir de células iPS.
What is this? The red energy from Star Trek? What was that?
Este logro fue posible gracias a las células madre pluripotentes inducidas descubiertas en 2006 por la ganadora del premio Nobel, Shinya Yamanaka, que permite a los científicos reprogramar las células adultas en cualquier tipo de tejido humano y abre nuevas posibilidades para tratamientos personalizados y el desarrollo futuro de órganos. El corazón humano artificial.
I have no idea what they're saying, so I tried. I think it was a regenerative liquid. Yeah. You should see the size of this thing, says Christopher Bledsoe. A plane in the distance, a glowing orb in the foreground gives scale, he says. It's close. It's big. What is it, really? He says. I can't wait to see this. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. It's already blurry. Okay? It's blurry already. So let's see if he ever gets it in focus. Look at this thing. That is as blurry as a blind man.
You can see the size of this thing.
No, you can't. It's blurry. Get some glasses, dummy.
It's huge.
No, it's not.
It's December the 8th,
December 8th.
2021.
Oh, God. First day of winter.
Never.
Oh, no, that's 2020. What? Look at this thing.
Have I seen so much activity?
This is so bad, guys. This is awful. It's out of focus. You can't even tell that's a tree there.
This is my pond.
It's out of
You can hear my
focus. I know
ducks.
you can. I'm joking.
Thank
But there's a reason this guy's not going to go into focus. Why?
you, Lord.
Because then you'll know. Now, I get it. There's something, a light. I want to know what kind of camera he's using. I think he's still using psionics, which, by the way, is the worst camera to use when you're hunting orbs, UFOs, or anything. Use the psionics indoors. I promise you, you'll get better results. If that's what he's doing here, it's no wonder it's blurry. Makes sense.
It's hard to understand.
This could be anything. This could be an LED balloon,
I get it.
right? But because it's out of focus, or it's in a camera with a setting that's on something to make it not clear, we're being duped. I'm telling you, we are. My gut tells me I'm better than Christopher Bledsoe. That's why I know I'm right.
There's another one. It's just gone out of sight. The one that was up higher.
I think I think it's time we make a debunk video on this guy.
Cruising on. 3 minutes
He needs
later.
to start. He needs to see the truth.
3.5 minutes later.
This has got to be a psionics
Thank you,
camera.
Lord.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Watch down
This one's
here. There's
still
an
cruising on.
object that's blinking and changes color.
3 minutes
Look,
later.
watch. Red, white, red, white.
3.5 minutes.
What the hell is that?
Thank you, Lord.
That's the psionics camera does
This one's
that.
still cruising on. 3
Watch.
minutes later.
Red, white, red, white,
3.5
red.
minutes later.
Do you understand now? Hello? I mean, that could have been a radio tower. I don't know. Well, whatever. You can already tell something's not
Thank
right.
you, Lord. It's coming. It's getting lower.
It's getting
It's actually getting lower.
Oh, you're so
by
bright.
a
God, he's
third
so
of what it
smart.
was.
Look at this thing. That's got to be an airplane. That's why. It's an airplane out of focus. Do you see the beauty in what I tell you, people? Please tell me you understand now. I have been talking about this, not really showing these videos lately, but for a good 2 months. I told you exactly what Christopher Bledsoe does. And here it is. He blurs the video just enough, or uses the camera to distort what you're really looking at. Has it on a setting. It's a psionics. Psionics distorts the light because it's grabbing light from all directions. It gives you, this doesn't look like a psionics, but it's something like that, I think. Or he's got a setting on there that is creating this alternate color
There's an
and
airplane way
blurriness.
back
This is
there.
the biggest
You
bullshit
can
thing.
see the size of it versus the airplane.
Oh, it is an airplane. I was right. So, does this look like an airplane in focus to you? No. Look at this. Why doesn't he get it into focus? Because he doesn't want you to know what this really is. He's a fucking lying piece of shit. And I hope Christopher Bledsoe has a horrible, horrible, horrible last few days of his life. I don't like that guy. What he's doing is a lie, and it's wrong. And I don't like him. I don't like him. And he needs to He needs to be exposed more than ever. We have to do that. I'm going to do it. Yep, that's my next him. And let me tell you what's coming up. My debunk and my outrage against the telepathy tapes. One of the biggest, in my opinion, grifts in ufology, in the paranormal community, the biggest scam from one of the biggest, I guess I'll say it, cunts you'll ever meet. Yeah. Sorry, ladies. I know you hate that word, but that's what this bitch is. And the telepathy tapes and Christopher Bledsoe will both feel the wrath of their lies. You can't stop the truth. It will always rise to the top. The cream rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to use the C word again. But I don't like that person. She is everything wrong with ufology, with this community. And I'm taking her down. And it's my goal. It's my goal. We're just going to expose. We're going to expose the lies and how these people think that they can get away with it without consequences. You know, my 21 years, all I do is talk about it. I never do anything. I usually leave that to the people who do better at that stuff. But I want to do something myself this time. So I want to see what happens. See if it gets any legs and goes and grows, and maybe expose the telepathy tapes for the lie and Christopher Bledsoe for bullshit videos like this. A lot of people are going to hate it. What's this? Oh, another video taken by security cam. Check this out, UFO. This is a good one, though. Right? I think this is a good one. Oh, I'm sorry. Right there. Disappeared. Watch. See, I think there's water or something. You can see, that's why they're zooming in right there. You can see the other things on here. See all this? There's just, for some reason, this one is a different color. That's all it means. Doesn't mean it's a UFO. It's just the way the light's hitting it, I guess. I don't know. It is interesting, though. Yeah, when you isolate it, it looks cool. Oh, my God. Did it go in the ground? What was that? Watch. Yo, look. Oh, my God. That is wicked. It goes in the ground. Tell me that doesn't go in the ground. And then watch the mist or whatever. Look. Oh, what? Oh, that's weird. It's just, that is so weird. Okay, that is bizarre. It just goes in the ground. Right? So cool. Gigi Abby Lynn, how you doing? Larky Derry, how's it going? Sky Allen, how you doing? Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. And let me see, what do we got? One more? One more. All right, here we go. We did that one. We did that one. We did that. We did that. Oh, are we done? Oh, I know what I have. Okay, let's check one more thing. See if this is... Okay, here it is. All right. This... Whoa, how'd that get over there? I'm telling you. What is going on? Oh, we have a poll. Yeah. What's the best thing about having a child? I'm going to end the poll. 67 votes. The best thing at 13%, the lowest, it's half my biology. Coming in at 16%, nothing, not interested in kids. 17% keeps the family name going. And what's the best thing about having a child? The years of joy at 52%. You guys, kidding me? You kidding me? All right. I never had any. Hey, I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Did I? What did I miss? What did I miss other than everything I did to my parents would have been done twice as bad to me? You mean the curse that my mother put on me? No, that's why I didn't have any kids. She did this to me. All right, here we go. Let me get out of here. Boop.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. This is Brent Cousins reporting from the Hollywood Hills. We got a big episode for you tonight. We're just getting started. Let's roll the first clip for tonight.
Have we seen this before? It looks familiar, doesn't it? Can I go up top? You right? I don't like it.
A small neighborhood, and we're looking at something kind of incredible. Look at these lights, these orbs.
I don't know what they're doing.
Seem to connect, and near
But there's some sort of flashing. You can see something here, something happens here, something happens out here.
end of the video is
See?
when things turn amazing. Look how these things are merging together.
No, I don't think they
seem
merged.
to basically become one.
I
Look
think
at
they
this.
got close to each other in the white wash of the lights.
Now we have one orb.
Hey, what? It turned into one. That's not fun.
One single orb, and it disappears and
What?
just vanishes from thin air. What are we looking at, guys? This is
Come on.
the phenomenon. This is what Third Phase of Moon shares on a daily basis. Let's roll this clip one more time because I'm pretty fascinated. Or he pulled out their camera and caught something amazing. Look at these things. The conjunction.
That's crazy.
That's what we're seeing right here. They're becoming a one. Are these orbs energy? They seem almost living, almost biological, because what I was looking at there was,
I don't know where he gets that these are living. How does he come up with that? They're lights. Is it because he's going to use the plasmoid? Because of plasmonia?
here. All right, check this out.
Check it out.
Mira, mira, qué loco este ovni.
God.
¿Habías visto algo parecido?
Oh my God, really? Christmas tree now?
Dang, if this is real footage, it's badass. Look at it. We're going to slow this down and take a close look. That looks like an apparent TR-3B. It almost looks like there's a body that you can see, the black mass, the triangular shaped craft, and the lights just popping off like it's a Christmas tree on steroids. And it's right there floating above the...
No, if a Christmas tree on steroids was this, you would have 1 million lights, not 6. I understand they're bright and they're bigger than normal lights, right? Yeah, but not on steroids. All right, here we go. See that? The object that he's saying is this. Now that could be an illusion, because look at here. When you have a little orb here, you lose the remaining body, right? Oh, you can see a craft behind it. You can see it, right? But all of a sudden, the craft is gone because this is gone. It's just whitewash from the lights. There's no craft behind this. This is drone technology.
The treetop. I'm digging it, but I don't know. Is this AI? I'm not so sure. It's
Could be AI.
Pretty legitimate. You know, AI is getting pretty good out there, but I really like the action on this, the camera action, and even the lens flares seem to be matching. Here it is again. We're gonna slow it down, and you see the lens flare on the left there, kind of bouncing in and out. It looks like it looks legit. It looks like it's being captured from an iPhone, and then we're seeing these lights, array of lights that are in the shape of.
This next one looks familiar. This looks familiar.
It's large. I'm saying about 40, 50 feet, maybe a little smaller, but it's not small. And this thing's just falling, descending to the ground over there. Good capture right here. We're looking at something pretty darn cool, in my opinion. All right, like I said, it's a packed episode right here at Third Phase.
All right, I got to get out of here, guys. That's it for tonight. Thank you on Father's Day for hanging out. Moderators, thank you for your time. I don't think we had any supers, but we had a new membership given out. Thank you for doing that. Anjali was the recipient. And thank you. Who did that, by the way? I can't remember. All right, we're out of here, though. But we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. And Rich Saves America, there might be daytime shows at 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm not sure yet. But the days I'm not doing the audits, we're doing live shows at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So, all right, we'll see you guys. Thank you very much. Hey, and if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. I mean that. How can you be? All right. What are we doing? No! We do truthology for ufology. We do it for you. He does. I do. All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you very much. And this goes out. This is probably the new intro outro song called Burn It Down, as in Burn Down Ufology. Kinda. Not really, but you know what it means. And this is from Chicken Coop Confidential. Lucian made this for us here at Goof On. So he also did Rich Saves America, which is my favorite song. All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you very much. And Alien bless.
Smoke Like